2025, 9:30 a.m., and we're here for a monthly department head meeting. I would go ahead and we'll start with solid waste.
Volumes are still up. We haven't slowed down much yet, whatever reason. The biggest news though is our recycling program. We had to put a halt to it. We're having troubles finding anybody that'll take the cardboard, the plastics, and the magazines, newspapers. So for now, we pulled all of the recycle bins in. We blocked off our cardboard recycle, and we're just moving forward, seeing what we can do. Other than that, though, everything's been going good. We're getting ready to start our burner back up, get our opacity test done for the year, and moving into the winter.
Okay.
That's about it.
How's that burner working? I mean, is it doing a pretty slick job? Is it quick or is it
Super slow?
Okay.
Super slow. I mean, it operates at capacity, for what they advertised. It will burn that much. But when we get the big rounds in, that we get a lot, that slows that burn way down. And so it just, it is what it is, and we just gotta, and we have to stop feeding it at noon because it has to have enough time to cool down so that we can shut it off by 4 o'clock. So we have a small window of feed time also. So
now on that, would it burn chips?
chips?
Yeah,
No.
if you chipped them all,
Nope.
if you chipped the big ones? No.
Nope, any kind of chip, pine needles, leaves, grass, anything like that turns into a mat in the thing.
Okay.
And
okay.
it won't burn
I
down
see, because there's
into
no
it.
air coming up
Yep.
through it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it won't
okay.
burn down into it.
Okay, darn it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
No,
or-
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Morning.
Morning.
My job's easy this morning. I'm going to introduce everybody to Christy Miller. She's going to be the new director for probation services starting in January. So I'm going to let her take it over and give you guys an update for the month.
Excellent, thank you. Good morning. So we'll start with our misdemeanor probation caseload. We're holding steady at about 40 active probationers at this time. Jen, who is our treatment provider, she's currently working with 8 of those folks. She has completed several probationers over the course of the last couple months, so she's graduated some. And she's done a couple evals for misdemeanor probation in the last couple weeks, so she should be getting some more of our people for treatment as well. For ILED, we have 4 active participants. We did have 1 graduation in October, so that was fantastic. He did a great job. And no new participants on the horizon as of today. For juvenile probation, we have 16, with a few juveniles moving to discharge from probation here in the next couple months successfully, so that's good news. We do have 4 petitions pending, so the potential of more juveniles coming on our caseload in the next month or 2. For diversion, we have, 0 at this point, but I expect that those numbers will go up with school being in session as the truancies start coming into the prosecutor's office. So I anticipate we'll have a couple juveniles on diversion in the next couple months. Regarding treatment court, we've got 4 participants with 1 graduation in October, and we have another upcoming graduation in the next month or 2, with 2 pending applications for the team to review in the next couple weeks. And it's been really helpful to have Jen next door. She's got those 2 evals for those participants, so it streamlines the process. So it doesn't take them as long to get accepted into treatment court. For our pretrial testing program, we're up to about 120 participants so far this year, with about 60 current. The others have been sentenced. And everything, we're busy and starting the transition process, and I'm continuing to learn more of what my new role is going to be.
Okay.
And that is our update.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Have we had any news on our testing? Didn't we have a challenge with where we were gonna do testing in the future?
I'll take this one.
Yes.
At this point, I've made some contacts with some other businesses come into our county. One, AberHealth is one that I initially had contact with. They said they could not come in, it wouldn't be financially feasible for them. But I've also had contact with another one, and I'm waiting for them to respond to us. But at this point, Probation Services is going to take over the testing in November. So we'll be doing that upstairs like we've been doing. We'll just have more numbers. So it's a temporary thing, I think. I hope that this other company will come through. So I'll give you that update, or Christy will give it up to you shortly.
Thank you.
Fire mitigation, Bill.
The contractor should finish Deadwood either today or tomorrow, with all the contract work that we've agreed to with IDL. Then they're gonna move to Miller's Way. We have about 70 acres of piles to burn up there. And we're gonna try to burn as many as we can before it snows. Because once it snows up there, it doesn't leave. So, and then again, once it snows, it's a lot harder to burn these piles because they're hand piles. So, then on the other side of this is we're just kind of waiting to see when the federal government's gonna start back up, so maybe we can see where our grants are at.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, a lot of phone calls.
So are we finishing up still on the one over here in in Smelterville? Weren't we? Where's there? That's that project that we run together.
The Deadwood project.
Deadwood project. Okay.
And
That's the one that we don't have to burn until later.
right,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to figure out different ways to do that.
Okay.
Instead of just burning everything. Because being that close to Bunker Hill Mine and their fresh air inlet,
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be setting off the sensors in the mine after they open up. Because they'll have to shut down until them sensors clear.
So would you try to get some burning done this fall?
Probably won't be this fall. We've talked about maybe trying a little bit before,
Spring?
in the spring before they open.
Okay, yeah, it's too green right now, huh?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Okay, anything?
No,
Nothing?
thank you.
Our grants administrator, Colleen.
So, lots of spreadsheet stuff. It's nothing exciting to report unless y'all want to see spreadsheets, which make me happy. Currently, I'm working on 2 new grants, applying for those. They're continuation grants, but they're about $300,000 between the 2 programs. So once those are done, we'll bring those to you guys to get signed. The USDA grant, which is hopefully coming up soon to completion. It expires the end of next year. That's with the broadband, and we've had to completely shift focus on that. With the BEAD, how it ended up in Idaho, and the big shift at the beginning of the year. So the state was awarded $584 million for BEAD, which is broadband to rural communities. After January, things shifted, and so they actually ended up opening that to Starlink, which was they didn't want any non-terrestrial based solutions for broadband. But now Starlink was allowed into that, and they got 22% of the share of that $584 million. In my conversations with the broadband office, specific to this BTA grant, because that's the planning, is how are we going to get that out to our communities? Nobody bid on Shoshone, so we had no interest in that BEAD funding for Shoshone County except for Starlink. The problem with Starlink is they do not offer it to anybody but residential, so our ability to connect anchor institutions, safety and security, utilities, big companies, doesn't exist through that BEAD funding. So we've shifted into the planning specifically for safety and security, and so bringing in the utilities and the hospitals. Dan's LEPC group is a great connector for all of those. And so we're solving for that to get them out there and make sure that they have it, because there are stations that their alarms do not work because they don't have connectivity. They have to drive to them and hope nothing has gone wrong in the meantime. And that's just unacceptable when we're talking about utilities and water, sewer, especially, and our infrastructure. So we've shifted that. I had the conversation with USDA yesterday. Happened to catch one guy that wasn't furloughed. So that's been a concern as well, as being able to move those forward until we know what's going on. But he felt that was a good shift and a good use of it, and we're staying within scope. So we've shifted that over to, let's make sure that our first responders and our utilities and anybody that we need to operate in this county is taken care of.
And how will they do that? Will they do that obviously not through Starlink, because the Starlink, they're just not, they won't, I know, will they not support it? Because it's too much of a stringent, for businesses.
Yes, because they require a gig, up to a gig symmetrical service, and it's just like wireless. You cannot put that much through a non-terrestrial base. That's why fiber was, why they intended it to be fiber originally. And then rural communities like ours, we got together and we petitioned and said there's going to have to be hybrid solutions, because fiber is really, it is the gold standard. It's the best way to go, but it's really expensive. I mean, it's $95,000 a mile to install that. And so when we're looking at, 200 miles worth of fiber here at $95,000 a mile, there's not a company out there that's interested in that. The back end problem of that is, even if we paid for that, found the grants to pay that up front, it's that small population that the return on investment and the ability to maintain that is not there. And so that's why we have no interest of people to build that kind of infrastructure in our county. And originally, with them not accepting other than fiber, it took out a lot of our wireless providers who were willing to, but they couldn't meet those speeds. And so that pulled them out, and then that immediate shift, they're all going, that's too late now, we're not going to jump into the game for that. And so it really was, the shift was a detriment to rural communities across the United States, but especially Shoshone County. I mean, I was less than happy when Ramon told me that we had nobody bid on any of our project areas in Shoshone County. The airport, we have the 2 grants for the airport. We're finishing up the one that was the design and starting the construction. You should have gotten a form to sign to send back to Ardura yesterday.
Okay.
Let me know if you didn't, so we can get that back to them. It's a request, sign off on their construction that they did, and then they'll send the bill on it for that.
I did the walkthrough on it already. So
this is for the construction side, so it's the first side of constructions. It's not the design where they were doing the striping and all of that. This is the next grant, the other grant.
Okay, for the actual pavement. Yeah, and I did the walkthrough because they finished it. They finished the pavement, so we did the final walkthrough with the. So okay.
Okay.
I'll get that out.
Yep. Right. That's good. Other than that, it's just a whole bunch of reports still, and
okay.
How are the buses doing?
Doing good. That's one of the grants that I'm applying for. It's a new 2-year grant, and so I'm glad that we have all of the information now, having that years behind us now, and also being able to get the study going. But that will be next year. They award that it's due at the end of the year, and they'll award that next year. So it's going good. The ridership is still way up there. We're doing a whole bunch of maintenance and preventive maintenance, getting tires and things done, because of the CARES money expires next year, and we still have a decent amount that we need to use. So I'm using that to support all of the things we need and get them completely up to where we need to be to go beyond September and be ready for all of that. But driver, you're doing great. Ridership is wonderful. Still a good support for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
P&Z.
Morning.
Morning.
We are trying to wrap up the year. It's still super busy. At the end of FY25, we had 158 building permits for the year. There's still a few that we're trying to work through just between agency comments and things like that. About a third of those were residential houses, whole barns with living space and a more duplex. And then we've got 13 started for this month, so it's still quite busy for the year for permits. We are going to be bringing you guys the fee schedule tomorrow for planning and zoning and the building permit fees. Hopefully that'll help bring a bit more revenue into the county. Next week we'll be bringing before you a subdivision for consideration. It's already been through planning and zoning commission, so we're bringing this to you guys for approval. And then we have been working on the state mandated area of impact updates with all 7 cities. We'll be bringing that to you guys on November 18th. We have been the city has been working very hard to look at their boundary maps to make sure it's in tune with what the code is requesting. So we're getting that wrapped up here and noticed out.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Building and maintenance.
Been a busy couple of weeks. We finally got our shades installed last Saturday. Came in with a company that we hadn't done, and they did a really nice job. If anybody ever needs work done, I'd highly recommend these guys. They're very neat, clean, and efficient. And there was no messing around. They're good workers. Got the heat mats ordered that I got approved from you guys a couple of weeks ago. They'll be all in next week, and I'll get those installed. So the front steps we'll have a 4-foot wide strip all the way down to the sidewalk this winter that'll be heated because the old heat system and this front stairs had broke. So at least we'll have a little more safety out there. Last year's usage of salt was just destroying my floors in here, so we had to do something to cut back on that. So we're going to try this. Colleen has found us somebody else to take care of the balconies. We had a guy lined up and they were supposed to be taken care of already, and they bailed on us. I'm not sure the whole story. She knows the whole story, but she was, as wonderful as she is, found us another guy that seems to be really eager to do the work. It'll be spring before it gets done, so we'll keep our fingers crossed that they'll make it through one more winter. But we met him Friday, right? Yeah. And he went through and took pictures, and we got him information and stuff, so he'll be getting back to us on that. So hopefully by this time next year, they'll be off and replaced. He's also going to give us a price on repainting and recoating the outside of this building because he's a historical guy. He does the work on a lot of historical buildings. So we'll know what we need to start finding funds for, because within 2 or 3 years, this building's got to be painted, or there's chunks falling off of it now in several places. So it's definitely need some attention. Got the maintenance done on the boiler. They changed the filters upstairs. Tom said some of them probably hadn't been changed in many years. They were that bad. So I can myself tell the difference in the building already as far as airflow goes.
Yeah.
Still fighting, trying to keep it level. We're having an issue with one of the boilers keeps going offline. So he'll be here probably tomorrow or Monday, try to get that fixed up. Other than that, it's just daily maintenance. Got the yard situated for the winter. Got it all winterized, cut short, fertilized. Waiting for a sunny day to get the leaves off of it. And other than that, we're ready to go.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any comments, Commissioner Dose?
I don't at this time.
Commissioner Cal?
I just want to thank everybody for all your hard work and everything you're doing. We appreciate it.
Same here. I appreciate it. All right. If there's nothing further, we're adjourned. Thank you guys for coming.